Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Shut up, Acho. Y'all know what today's show is going to be about, so let's just get it started. I'm Marcellus Swally. Yeah, I'm all right. Emmanuel Acho, seen that suit before. It's amazing. All right, let's get to our top story brought to you by Popeyes Mac and Cheese, and I ain't talking Mac Jones. Try the new and improved recipe today. Y'all heard that thing? That's my heart dropping. We have breaking news in the NFL first. The Browns were scheduled to host the Raiders tomorrow, but it will now be moved to Monday due to COVID. In addition, according to reports, the NFL and the Players Association are in active discussions about postponing multiple Week 15 games. So, Acho, what's your reaction to all of this?
Man, I love it and I hate it at the same time. Here's why I hate it. Let me start with that. The NFL, you all told the players something. You communicated something. Let your yes be your yes. Let your no be your no. I abide by that in my life, and I wish everyone would abide by that. So the NFL communicated a message to the players. We are not postponing games for nobody, no reason, nobody's mama. We moving forward, period.
That's the game.
But then, all of a sudden, a couple teams had several players test positive. NFL starts looking around. Well, is it fair? Is it fair? Is it fair? We have to remember what's fair to one person is oftentimes not fair to the other.
Yeah.
So that's prefacing with why I hate it, because I've seen players tweet like KJ Wright, standout linebacker KJ Wright, formerly of the Seahawks, presently of the Las Vegas Raiders, who now have their game moved from Saturday to Monday. KJ Wright tweets saying, I paid my dues to the NFLPA, to the Players Association. You all communicated a message to me that we are not postponing games. Yet here we are postponing games. Now, some might say, Acho, the Browns didn't have a starting quarterback, didn't have a backup quarterback. Well, the Browns didn't have three of their starting defensive backs. Browns didn't have Jadeveon Clowney. Browns missing three offensive linemen. I get all that. As a player drafted to the Browns, I respect all that. But the fact of the matter is, the NFL communicated something to the players. Players have to adjust and have adjusted accordingly. So now if you want to postpone games, where do you stop? Where do you draw the line? Where do you not draw the line? For Browns fans, for Rams fans, likely to get their game postponed as well due to the high number of COVID. Washington football team, likely to have their game postponed as well. I would want it postponed. Even as a fan of the National Football League, I want games postponed. I want to see Baker Mayfield play. I'd rather see Taylor Heineke play. Definitely want to see all those dudes for the Rams play. But the NFL it communicated a message. And when you communicate a message, you have to stick to that message. You do not sign a contract for when things are going right. That's what a lawyer told me one time. You sign a contract for when things are going wrong.
Okay.
You created the stipulation that we are going to play games regardless of COVID, not for when nobody has COVID. You created that stipulation that regardless of who has COVID, we are going to keep playing games for this very reason. Because people were going to unfortunately test positive for COVID.
Right.
You create a contract for when things go wrong, not when things go right. The NFL created a contract, if you will, saying we're not stopping play, yet they completely voided their contract. And that's fair to one, completely fair to one. But what's fair to one is oftentimes unfair to the other.
Let me echo and let me add to what you just said there, because I agree with you. I don't like it because it undermines the culture of football. I could talk about, like you just said, the legislation of football. And it's interesting that now the legislation of football is going to vary. There's going to be a variance based on the variance. Did y'all catch that? There's going to be a variance up here, down here, over there, based on the new variance. There's a problem right here. Let's talk about why this is a problem. Because I don't like legislation based on individuals' circumstances. I like it something that affects the masses, something that is objective to all. You understand it. Why did I start off by saying this undermines the culture of football? Because the one thing that I took from football that I really hold on to in my daily life, and I think it's one of the reasons why I have such mental toughness and resolve, and I humbly say that, I learned that from playing the game of football, because the game of football told me, I don't care how you feel, hook or crook, 105, be there and be ready. And if you're not, guess what? You're going to either be on that field unprepared, getting slapped around for 3 hours, or you won't be there at all, and the game will move forward. I love that. You know why? Because it told me at quiet times. It told me in trying times. It told me in times I didn't feel like getting myself ready. Or you better be ready or there's going to be hell to pay. In this situation, how do I align it with this? I don't like the NFL legislating, one team is affected more so than another team. Okay. So therefore, we're going to have a variance of our legislation based on the variance and how it's affecting you.
Yes, sir.
Last night, I watched the Los Angeles Chargers go out there and lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering how would we perform if we had our offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater, who was missing. Why was
he missing, big dog?
COVID protocols, you tell me. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem with that. Don't you dare from up high tell me that doesn't have a huge impact on our team, but then look at another team just because of the quantity. Who knows what the quality of issue is, but the quantity is so great that you deem that as something that we have to postpone. Because if we're going to play it fair, if we're going to play it right, we're going to play it even, hey, let's postpone our game. We lost our starting offensive tackle for that same reason. And countless other games went on as scheduled because of the COVID issue. I don't like this unevenness right now coming from up high.
Let's also state why retroactively now, let's state why postponing a game is really going to potentially undermine the season. The two most important teams in the NFL this year, based off ranking, are the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
The Packers are the best team in the NFC. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs are currently the best team in the AFC by ranking. Those two teams played each other. And when those two teams played each other, one notable person was missing. I think his first name is Aaron, and I think his last name is Rodgers, if I got that right. He happened to be the NFL MVP last year. Only player this year with more than 25 touchdowns and 4 less interceptions. Rodgers, yes. He was missing.
I heard of him.
Aaron Rodgers was missing in that game, and the Chiefs end up winning that game. That game will literally and could literally dictate and decide who goes to the Super Bowl. Because the Chiefs are now the 1 seed because they won that game. If the Chiefs lose that game, the Patriots are the 1 seed in the AFC. And it's a little bit different. If the Packers win that game, then the Packers now have a greater cushion ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a 1 seed in the NFC. But we blew right past postponing a game, even though Aaron Rodgers arguably or inarguably, based off last year, is the most valuable player in all of football.
There you go.
So even you could have 5 to 10 players test positive with COVID on another team, and they don't amount to the value of Aaron Rodgers as a football player, not as a human being. Let's separate the two, but as a football player. So the biggest game of the season thus far between the Packers and the Chiefs was decided by COVID because Aaron Rodgers was not there, but that game was still played. Yet we're now not going to play games because of COVID. If I'm a Packers fan, I'm hot. Wait a second, run mine back too then.
Run it back.
Wait a second, any game that's been impacted by COVID, make that game void. I got more in the heat, but I want to hear what you got.
Man, what I got is some more breaking news that the Seahawks-Rams game is now officially moved to Tuesday. My day off? You imagine somebody is sitting there with the devil on their shoulder like, that's our day off, dog. We got to play? What the hell? I don't know. We got to go out there and play. Crazy, man. Man, who am I to tell the NFL what to do? And I'm really not telling them what to do. I'm just telling them the consequences of what they're doing. And those consequences are this. The pandemic at this phase has to be treated as injury. It has to be treated purely as injury. Just like when you got a hamstring and you can't play that week. Okay, the game goes on. Just like this week, we have 1, 2, 20, whatever the number may be, as long as we can put a team out there. And if we can't put a team out there, unfortunately, maybe we have to forfeit. We have to treat this as injury. Why? Because if you're running a corporation, you have to know how something in the real world affects industry, how it affects your industry. I'll give you an example. It doesn't always hurt your business. Sometimes it comes as a positive to your business. My therapist, who has an office off of Robinson right here in Beverly Hills, right? Used to just sit there in his office and 2 o'clock comes, Marcellus will show up, 3 o'clock his next appointment, 4 o'clock his next appointment. And God, I made a great living. Then the pandemic came, smack. And then people were really troubled, locked in their houses, quarantined, away from everyone, social contact different. And he noticed a spike in his numbers. But he noticed a spike in his numbers, not only in their frequency, but only got 24 hours in a day, but he also noticed a spike in terms of where are these people coming from? It's virtual now. Has clients in Germany, has clients in Australia. It affected his industry different, and he maneuvered that way. NFL, we have a collision sport where injury is a part of the game. It is written in fine print. This is a part of the game. And we won't move the game because of injury. Let's just say the Tampa Bay Bucks and Kansas City Chiefs of last year. If Tom Brady couldn't play in the Super Bowl, what were we going to do? Move the Super Bowl? If you look at Patrick Mahomes, he couldn't play. Did he play in the Super Bowl? He didn't throw a touchdown. I don't know if he was. My point being, levity. I got to do it. You don't move the Super Bowl. Hey, man, there have been guys who have been injured before. Gronkowski won a ring, didn't even play in the playoffs, didn't even play in the Super Bowl. Okay? I'm just saying right now, it's time to stop looking at this situation as half pregnant. It's time to get out the gray area. It has to be treated as injury. And teams and the NFL has to move on as scheduled.
Give me a word, Sel. You've given me this word before. I need you to fact check your boy. There is no compromise in life, just trade-offs.
Oh, there are no solutions in life, just trade-offs.
There are no solutions in life, just trade-offs. It sounds like this is a great solution. It's not. It's just a trade-off, because when that Eagles game gets moved, if it hasn't already, that Eagles versus Washington game gets moved to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Eagles got a big divisional game on Sunday versus the Giants. So now the Eagles are going to be on an incredibly short week, whereas the Giants are going to have their full 7 days. There are no solutions, just trade-offs. Since the Browns game has been moved and the Rams game has been moved, well, the Rams now have a better opportunity to win in their impact of COVID than the Packers had an opportunity to win when they were impacted by COVID and had to play the Chiefs without Aaron Rodgers. No solutions in life, just trade-offs.
Yes.
If you postpone the Browns game, since you have postponed the Browns game, and now the Las Vegas Raiders have been practicing all the way through this week, were prepared to board the bus, then told to stand down today at 11:15 a.m. Pacific time. Now the Raiders' whole practice schedule is adjusted. Their flight schedule is adjusted. Their Travis schedule is adjusted. Their circadian rhythm is adjusted. But the Browns are just chilling in Cleveland. No solutions in life, just trade-offs. So I understand that, this maybe did the most good for the most people, maybe. But here's really my final point. I don't know if it's my final because I got a lot of
I'm about to say, stop, boy.
Here might be my most important point. Here might be my most important point. The NFL needs a new legislation immediately, because I need a line in the sand of when are we going to postpone games and when are we not. Are we going to postpone games when you're starting, and just by reason? For example, we didn't postpone the game when Baker was test positive. We didn't postpone it when Case Keenum test positive.
Right.
Now Jadeveon Clowney tested positive, and it was like, okay, so that was the straw that broke the camel's back? Okay, the Rams. They had 20-plus players test positive, didn't get postponed. So I need a new legislation from the NFL so we can actually have something that the players and the coaches can be governed by. It can't be arbitrary. You rock with me? I need to know, okay, is 10 players the threshold? Is 2 coaches the threshold? Is the starting quarterback the threshold? Is the starting quarterback and the starting safety the threshold? Is 15 players the threshold? But we can't just arbitrarily pick and choose when we are going to postpone the games. Just give players a new legislation, because you already gave them one and said you weren't postponing any games, but we blew by that. Give players a new legislation for these final few weeks of the season so we can all be fighting under the same rules. The NFL has to abide by parity and equality. Too much money, billion-dollar organization going into this. Everybody has to be able to fight fairly. And I just think that we need to know what is considered a fair fight.
Yeah. Look, everything correct. There's no fairness when it's not objective. The objectivity gives you the fairness. You want to know why? Because it's not because it doesn't hurt you. There are laws that can hurt you. There are things that are rules that can hurt you. That's not what we're trying to solve. What we're trying to solve is the fact that you can see it coming and you know which side to stand on. Think about it. If the NFL comes out and just says, I don't give a damn how many players are missing. The game is at 1 o'clock. It's on Sunday. Show up or lose. I'm going to tell you why that works. Nothing else will work, because everything else is now starting to listen to your reasoning, listening to how it impacts you. Well, I'm down a starting quarterback. Good case. Well, we're down 5 players, but 3 are backups, one's a special teamer, and one's a starting linebacker. Not good enough. Here's the thing. 1 o'clock, show up or else. I played in a game that was forfeited in high school. That was the last time I played in a game that retroactively they went back and took it away. They had players on the team that were academically ineligible, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, we knew to show up. I also played my senior season with 17 players. We didn't have enough players to go 2 ways. Went to a small school. We got poached from all our talent. They went to bigger schools. 17. Do you think anybody gave a damn? They said, you can put 11 out there, play. You can't put 11 out there? Good luck to you. We're not playing. We take the victory. Why does that matter? Because I got more breaking news. Looks like the Eagles-Washington game is now on the off day. It's on Tuesday as well. Now, let's talk about why my way is the only way, which is objectivity. By hook or crook, sticks or stones, doesn't matter. If you don't show up, you don't get to participate. And it doesn't matter the reason. Now, I'm going to take issue with it. My contract year, I had a back surgery in training camp. First game of the year against the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football. I'm barely walking. You know what I wanted? The NFL to postpone that game. You know what I needed? A little more time. If we don't look at this as different than that, and I understand there's no contagion with my back surgery. I'm not going to affect you because of my back surgery. But guess what? You're going to affect the game, the culture. It's going to erode. It's going to be undermined by the fact that now we're listening to one team and how it's affecting them and listening to another team and deeming what we feel as more important than how it's impacting them from the inside.
I actually agree with you on that one wholeheartedly. Now, so many people will say that it's not fair, but the fact of the matter is we don't have to like all the rules, but it behooves us as a society and our ability to function at a high level to acknowledge and abide by all the rules.
You see them?
The NFL set a rule at the beginning of the season. Is it currently fair to Cleveland? No. Fair to the Rams? Nah. Fair to Washington? Nope. We ain't got to like all the rules.
Right.
But for the sake of the functionality of the system, the bigger picture of the system, you have to abide by the rules because now retroactively, teams that have been impacted by COVID, Chargers last night, Packers when they play the Chiefs, I'm looking around like, wait a second. Me, Aaron Rodgers, is more valuable than any of them other players suspended or missing a game because of COVID. Not my opinion. Fact. I literally was the most valuable. So come on now, big dog. I need some objectivity. I'm with you.
Yeah. The only thing I can see right now is the response of, hey, we're just trying to stop the spread. And the quantity has gotten to such a level that now we just got to do something different. I understand that, but once again, we need to have objectivity when we're going forward so that everyone can understand how this will affect all. Because right now, it's not feeling like it's affecting the lion's share. It's feeling like it's starting to affect just those in the immediate. And like you said, retroactively or going forward, how will it affect?
Because I'm confused. I'll be honest. I'm confused. You're a smart man. I try to consider myself a smart man. But I'm confused. Are we going to postpone games next week? Because unfortunately, COVID ain't going nowhere.
Hell no.
So when are we going to decide, okay, man, next week, Cowboys, Dak Prescott's out, so we got to suspend that. We got to delay that game. It's just, there has to be clarity, Sel. There has to be clarity. If you say we're kicking off at 105, we got to kick off at 105. Only reason we're not kicking off at 105 is a lightning delay. But outside of that, we kicking off at 105. It don't matter who pulled a hamstring in warm-ups. It don't matter what coach missed the bus. It don't matter if Tom Brady forgot his headphones at the hotel. The game is kicking off at 105 because we all have to operate under the same rules.
Thank you. Dermot Thomas, my dog, who I love. Hey, you don't know where your helmet is and the Super Bowl started? Super Bowl's still playing. Figure out where your helmet is. Point being, we've danced around one word and we didn't say it, and it's really what this is. It's discipline. This is why you have discipline. Discipline tells you this is the way it's going to go. Now, with that, if you want to abide by it, it's going to help you. If you don't, oh, well, I'm understanding, but I'm sorry. It will have a negative effect on you. It will have an impact on you. And in the ultimate team sport, nothing was told to us or sold to us more so than discipline. Be nice if that discipline went from the top down. Coming up, Lamar Jackson's status for Sunday could go down to the wire. I'll tell you how worried the Ravens should be about their quarterback. But first, the Chiefs got a huge win against their division rivals last night. Look at me talking like I don't know what happened. We'll tell you if KC really won or if the Chargers lost it. Oh, that's a good question. Next on Speak for Yourself. And I am sweating. Let's get to last night's thriller that I saw firsthand. You can hear it in my voice. Justin Herbert and my Chargers missed out on 3 chances in the red zone. And on the other side, Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs on 3 late scoring drives, including the game-winning touchdown to Travis Kelce in overtime to seal it for KC. And it stabbed me right in the chest. So, Acho, did the Chiefs win or did the Chargers lose?
Man, of course the Chiefs won, Sale. Don't ask me no silly question like
Silly,
that.
rabbit, tricks if I can.
Oh, man, it was like that, what they say, that prison treatment. You got to go take what you want, big dog.
Prison treatment?
Chiefs went out there and took, I read about it.
I was about to say.
I'm on the private school.
3 hots in the cot up in here. All right.
Man, here's how I know the Chiefs won. Final 3 possessions of the game. Patrick Mahomes, 75 yards, 75 yards, 75 yards.
That's my
5
number.
plays, 8 plays, 5 plays. Boom,
Bam,
boom,
bam,
boom.
bam.
The Chargers did not play poorly. Obviously, they didn't convert several 4th downs. But 4th downs, typically when you punt the ball anyway. You, figuratively speaking, you only got 3 downs to get your 10 yards. They say 4, but you be punting on 4th down. So Chargers did not play poorly. Chiefs went out there and they took what they wanted when it mattered most. Real quick, let me look at this full screen. First 3 quarters, 207 yards. Yeah, we getting out the gate with the swinging.
Damn.
But 4th quarter overtime, 203 yards. Patrick Mahomes said, hey, when the going get tough, your boy about to get going. Chargers are a good team. Chiefs are a better team. Herbert is a good quarterback. Mahomes is a better quarterback. Chargers have a good offense. Chiefs, they just special, big dog.
They special.
Chiefs definitely won that game, but I'm interested in hearing what you got to say.
Oh, man. I am going to say that the Chargers lost last night just to answer the question, but let's go deeper than that. Are you an outcast? Let's talk about what happened last night. Because the Chargers just didn't have this game. You know, a lot of times you walk off a field, you know what I'm talking about, Acho, you're like, man, we had it. Let's go a step further. The Chargers not only had this game, they should have won this game. Let's talk about how Acho needs to understand what I'm talking about. Let me illustrate it by this. I didn't have any brothers growing up, Acho. I know you did. I seen your brother on the other network. Tell him when I see him in these streets, I'm going to ride on him for being on the other side, homie. But I respect your brother, Sam Acho. I don't know what y'all used to do growing up for entertainment, but for us, we used to go to the arcade. And when you go to the arcade, you know, I'm the champ of Miss Pac-Man. That's what was my thing. Dig Dug, Miss Pac-Man, and Gallagher a little bit, right? And I don't know if you know about the old school, the 80s, 90s, going to the arcade, putting your quarters up there, let everybody know I got next, right? Let me give you this example. It's going to be long-winded, no purpose, because it's going to really hit home. Since I didn't have brothers, you know, every now and then during the summer, my cousin would come in from Shreveport. You know, in this example, my cousin came in from Kansas City. I said, oh, what's up? He's like, oh, I'm the best on Gallagher. Nobody could fade me on Miss Pac-Man. I was like, oh, really? Okay. Let me see what you talk about, cuz. He go out there and set the high score in the game. Don't unplug it because this high score going to disappear, right? I'm like, oh, nice. Then I go out there, wow, set a new score. You know what cousin start doing? Trying to beat my score. He can't beat my score. Then you know what I start doing? I start giggling. I was like, oh, those quarters up there, they for you until you can beat my score. That's what the Chargers did last night. The Chargers were spotting this team and giving them points and letting points just stay on the board, knowing that they already were a better team than these Chiefs. You don't believe me?
No.
Tell me if you should punt when you're on the Kansas City 5-yard line. You said punt. That's 3 points. Tell me if you should punt when you're on the Kansas City 1-yard line. You said they should punt. That's 3 points. Tell me if they should punt when they're on the Kansas City 28-yard line. Tell me if they should punt when, oh, God, we fumbled on the 1-yard line going in diving when we dove Josh Kelly, who doesn't have any touchdowns, and Austin Eckler, who was on the pitch count with 16 touchdowns, was on the sidelines. I got one more point to prove to you that the Chargers should have won this game. More importantly, had this game. More importantly, should have won this game. We saw Patrick Mahomes had the most yards he had this year. We saw Patrick Mahomes third most touchdowns this year. This was a great game for Patrick Mahomes. Respect. Travis Kelce went out there balling out of control. Tyreek Hill, 12 catches, eating. You know what was interesting about this game? I saw Derwin James out there. Not long, but I saw him out there. Do you know when he was out there for those 22 snaps, Tyreek Hill had 1 catch. He left 30 snaps. Second quarter, 9 catches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Hey, bro, all I know is we good. We got the high score. We have now beaten Kansas City twice out there in Kansas City. Go ahead and love your home field advantage. We're going to smoke y'all out there. We have lost to Kansas City twice in overtime. Nail-biters with Patrick Mahomes balling, Tyreek Hill balling, and Travis Kelce setting records. Bruh, I hate to tell you, quarters are yours, because we already know who the better team is. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I thought you were going to be
that was a heck of a take, big dog. So you were surprised that Patrick Mahomes, a Hall of Famer, balled, and Travis Kelce, a Hall of Famer, balled, and Tyreek Hill, the fastest player in football, balled, and Derwin James got hurt?
No, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. I'm just telling you, if it takes all of that for y'all to get a nail-biter win, and y'all won 6 in a row, you come in that hot, balling that hard off of our injuries, bruh, you know who the better team is.
Let me tell you, Sal, it's sunny in the summer, big dog. Okay? The Chiefs going to do what the Chiefs going to do.
Oh, really?
Derwin is known for getting hurt. Derwin is a baller, though, by the way.
Good point.
But he got hurt.
Good point.
It's sunny in the summer, y'all. And all we saw yesterday was the sun. The Chiefs also failed on a 4th and 2.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes trying to get the ball out. 4th and 1 on the 2. Patrick Mahomes trying to get the ball out. He skips a rock to first base trying to throw to Mecole Hardman.
I mean, he skipped.
Easy touchdown.
A few. Yeah.
So the Chiefs did not play a perfect game. The Chiefs game was just good enough to beat an imperfect Chargers team.
I like that.
That's all it was. Like, I understand how you found solace in this loss. I'm glad you did. I don't like a depressed Marcellus Wiley. I know that might lean down on MJ and whatnot. I want MJ to grow up in a safe environment, a comfortable environment with a loving, non-upset father. I'm glad you found solace in your defeat. But at the point in which Travis Kelce proved he's one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Tyreek Hill proved what he always proves, Patrick Mahomes proved what he always proves, Chiefs won. They didn't get lucky.
They didn't get lucky?
7 straight wins. They didn't get lucky. Went to the Super Bowl last year, won the Super Bowl the year before. They didn't get lucky. The history of the Chiefs says this is the Chiefs. So if in doubt, the Chiefs are getting the benefit of the doubt. If I got any doubts at all whatsoever, because the better team won the game. The better team does better things. The better team said, I got to go 75 yards. I got 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Mahomes said, don't worry. I don't need all 2:19. Just give me about a minute and change. Herbert got the ball back, by the way. Herbert got the ball back with plenty of time, 1:16. Herbert had the ball back. He could have scored, and he didn't even get a touchdown. Herbert just got a field goal, big dog. All you need is 3. Couldn't do it, coach. So better team won the game, better quarterback won the game, better skill players won the game, better coach won the game. Chargers are a good team. They just can't see the Chiefs.
Come on, man. Look, Dustin Hopkins, our kicker, 12 of 13. The one miss this year, over 50 yards. We turned the ball over 3 times inside the Chiefs' 5-yard line. Acho, at minimum, that's 9 points. It could be 21 points. All I'm telling you is this. When I see us get down there that many times, 5 turnovers in Chiefs territory, that's why we lost the game. Because we didn't do anything when we were down there. 3 times inside the 5 times on their side of the ball, their side of the field. I get it. Respect. But you know what it takes me to? It takes me to an example that really will hold true. Not only are we not scared of them, we are prepared for them and we are ready to beat them. Let me tell you why. Remember when the Giants had to go against the perfect New England Patriots and lost that game? Close game. It was at the
regular
end.
Season.
Regular season.
Gotcha.
Yes. Regular season last night, too. I love it. And we lost to, oh, my God, look at the Patriots. They're perfect. As you were trying to make these Chiefs look or sound perfect. And all the Giants took away from that was the blueprint. All they took away from that was the moral victory, was the fact and the confidence that, we see you again. We know how to beat y'all. That's what I felt last night walking out of that stadium with 70,000 other people. When I see our team, injuries, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Derwin James, look, all I know is Travis Kelce had come in with a slump and was not looking great until Derwin said, ow, take off. Okay. So now this is a Chiefs team that was giving up only 10 points a game for 6 games. Gave up 28 to my Chargers, who left 9 to 21 on the board just like that. Bruh, they see each other again. Wow. I guarantee you that the Chargers are going to beat them. 1, because we always beat them in KC. But 2, because we are better than them right now. Even though yesterday, respect to the winner.
But here's what you got to remember, Sal. You can't afford to get unlucky against a team you're not better than. You can't afford, this was a game the Chargers could have, would have, should have had, but they didn't have.
We didn't get unlucky. Our philosophy came back to bite us. Just like your philosophy in gambling, it won you a lot of money. Every now and then, I'm going to go peek over your shoulder. Damn, Macho, they taxing you right now, right? But do you abandon philosophy? No, because what warms us sometimes will burn us. It burned us last night. But damn, it didn't burn down our confidence. It didn't burn down our house. It didn't burn down our structure. It actually gave us confidence. Did you hear Coach post-game? He was like, I would do it again. And matter of fact, if I do it again, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
I'll give it to you like this, though. I've been confident in several exams that I have gone on to fail. So keep all that confidence if you want. You and your charges. Just know when it's time to take that test, still going to fail.
Still going to fail. Right now, can we guarantee what's going to happen if they see each other?
Chiefs will win because they will meet in the playoffs. Chiefs will win, period.
Okay, that's on record right there. Coming up, Dak says he's glad criticism of him has come back. Oh, really, Dak? Really? Is this keeping 99 or 100 right now? We have a lot to say about what's going on in Dallas. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Cowboys are on the road against the Giants Sunday on Fox. They're on top in the NFC East, but all the talk has not been positive. Dak Prescott has thrown more interceptions than touchdown passes in his last 4 games, and the word slump has been thrown around. Dak was asked if he's motivated by the criticism. Listen.
I think I'd be lying if I said I haven't heard it. But yeah, in a sense it does. But you know, I've been doubted my whole life. Been said I couldn't do this or I can't do that. So in a sense, I'm actually glad it's kind of come back. I'm glad that that's the way that the people feel, and that there's a lot of that being said right now. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't hear it.
Joe, what are your thoughts on Dak saying he's glad the criticism has come back?
I hate it. Is this Dak Durant, Kevin Prescott? It's like Dak. Dak's not a villain.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been a victim, but he's never been a villain in his life, right? Like, Dak Prescott has traversed some of the hardest things any human being can go through. I would say that Dak in his life has had to be a victim of several unfortunate circumstances, but Dak's not a villain. So don't try to take a villain role. Because then all of a sudden you get distracted trying to be something and somebody that you're not. Now, maybe Dak is. Maybe Dak is in his private life and the life that we don't know, but the life that Dak portrays to the media is a life of a hero. Like, Dak, what do you mean that you've been doubted your whole life? The highest paid player this year? $75 million don't seem like a lot of doubt. I wish somebody would $75 million doubt me.
Doubt me a dime at a time, damn it.
I feel like I wish somebody would doubt me like that. Dak, you weren't doubted when the Cowboys benched their most beloved quarterback recent history, and Tony Romo, just to make sure you maintained your starting position. There was no doubt there. Sure, maybe you're doubted back in 2016 when they drafted you in the 4th round, but, I mean, being drafted in the 4th round still isn't a whole bunch of doubt. That only means we're about 120 players ahead of you. Anyway, I don't like this because, Dak's not a villain.
Say it again.
So don't come out here talking about, yeah, man, I love all that doubt. You get distracted at times when you try to play a role. Because when you try to play a role and when you are acting, you don't necessarily know how to act. So, Dak, you're trying to play this role as a villain, but it's not who you actually are, at least not who you publicly portray. So now you're going to forget how to act. Like, you don't need to be some sort of hero, some sort of like been doubted my whole life. No, have it. Not as of late. Not this new Dak Prescott. So I hate that he says he's glad the criticism has come back because, lastly, that means Dak Prescott has done something clearly worthy of criticism. Bad play. If he had been balling, we wouldn't be criticizing. We ain't criticizing Brady right now. We ain't criticizing Rodgers right now. We ain't even criticizing Stafford right now. So with that being said, I hate it.
Oh, man, not many things that get me to say what you just said, but I hate it as well. Not many things. I hate this for Dak. I hate this for anybody. And I don't have to know Dak very well to know that I hate this. And anyone who subscribes to just this. Let me just say this on record. Nobody who has ever lived in this world has ever raised their hand with their own volition and said, hey, criticize me, doubt me. Hey, I want to be an underdog. Not a damn person that ever lived in this world. But what happens is, whether it is your circumstance or it's just your reality, you sometimes have to live through that. You have to survive and then thrive. So no one has ever said, let me pay a subscription to the doubt. Let me actually be the one that the world lands on. You want to look at the world, you want to land on Plymouth Rock, not let Plymouth Rock land on you. And Dak Prescott has now told me, as the therapist I am not, Oh, it finally got to you, Dak. Because like you said, we have never heard Dak talk like this, no matter what adversities come his way. Dak has always found a brilliant, sophisticated way to just maneuver around it, at least in his words. But now, even his words get him in trouble with this one. I know what he's trying to say. Let me help him out. He's trying to say, no matter what's come my way in terms of adversity, I've responded. That's great. But what came out was, I kind of like these problems. It motivates me. It gets me going. That takes me to my upbringing. That takes me to my reality. That takes me to how I grew up. And I lived the story of the underdog, right? And let me tell you, it's for the birds. There were many a times I was sitting there saying, I love you, Mama, I love you, Daddy, but damn, I wish y'all had a little more than this. I ain't gonna lie. You know why? Because what I had to live through was real life experiences. The doubt comes with circumstances. The doubt manifests. It manifests when people don't believe you. Oh, you're smart? For that area. The doubt comes from when you have to walk out your house and the bushes are moving. And it ain't because somebody in the bushes. It's because the bullets are hitting them. And you trying to find your way out of that situation to survive, then thrive. I hate when people just act like they want the smoke. People always want the smoke until it's time to breathe. And then when it's time to breathe in the smoke, you start realizing it's hard as hell to breathe in it. Excuse me. Here's the point. Ain't nobody raising their hand for this. Dak, you did not want to struggle of late to get to a place where all of a sudden you're going to deal with hate, and all of a sudden to get to a place where now you're motivated. Love is in this world, hate is in this world. You really going to raise your hand for the hate? Come on, bruh. Just admit it. It's kind of hard. Keep your hand up for the love.
That's real. The mouth speaks, but the guilty conscience screams.
Oh, we got something.
The mouth is going to speak.
Little ism.
But that guilty conscience, ooh, it's going to scream. And right now, Dak Prescott's guilty conscience is screaming. Dak, those who have been criticizing you have been criticizing you prior to this struggle. We come on the show every day. I'm usually, based on the public's perception, anti-Dak Prescott.
I've heard.
And Sel is pro-Dak Prescott.
That's my dog.
My stance hasn't really changed. Sel just now calls it like it is a little bit, so he's been a little meaner to Dak Prescott based on what people would say. But our criticism ain't really gotten any louder or any lesser. It's been the same.
Yeah.
Dak, people said you should have been MVP throughout the duration of this season. What criticism? Okay, so the criticism that should matter should come from within. But the most important person to the Cowboys organization's history, Jerry Jones, he ain't criticized you, Dak, because he went out there and criticized all the wide receivers in an effort to avoid criticizing you. Third highest paid player on the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, he didn't criticize you. Because on his Tuesday press conference, he said, we all need to be better. Everybody on offense needs to pick it up. So, Dak Prescott, why are you screaming, big dog? Oh, that guilty conscience is going to get you. Sel, we've talked about this before.
We have?
People tweet hate at you and I all of the time, nonstop. It's kind of comical at this point. I like it a little bit. It lets me know they watch it. But here's what I've realized about the hate, Sel.
What?
If people hate me for something I'm confident in, it doesn't even faze me. Oh, Acho don't know how to dress. Acho, why you flooding in your pants? Acho, I'm just like, bruh, y'all don't know nothing.
Y'all don't know
nothing.
this
Because this
style.
is where my confidence is.
That's very
But if somebody's like, Acho, why you always yelling at the screen? I'm like, uh-oh, am I yelling? Because I am subconscious of the fact that sometimes I project a little too loudly.
That's a vulnerable moment. I appreciate that. Talk to me, man. This show's going places. Talk.
Therapy.
Talk, bruh.
Dak Prescott, the only reason he has acknowledged this criticism, because he didn't acknowledge criticism in the first 12, 13 weeks of the season, though he still got it, because Dak Prescott, your boy's still been here being critical of you. Only reason he's acknowledging it now, because he knows he's guilty. Because a hit dog is going to holler.
Oh, holler. Oh.
Dak Prescott hollering right now.
Man, he hollering right now. He is hollering, but I have to push back on you. I'm not meaner to Dak. I'm just the mirror to Dak. When Dak deserved all the support, the pro Marcellus approach, he got it because he was balling out of control when he was 5-1, 73 completion percentage, 8.4 yards per pass, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 115 passer rating.
Yes, sir.
Pro Marcellus. But then everyone wants to all of a sudden say, now you're being meaner. No, it's just a mirror because now you're 3-3 in the last 6. 63 completion percentage. 8 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. That's kind of too close for me. 82 passer rating. Uh-oh. I got to call it like I see it, big dog. And how I see it is there's a thin line between love and hate.
Yes, sir.
The reason why I don't care if you hate me or love me, because one, I love me so much I can't hear what you talking about, whether you love me or not. And I learned this both ways when I was on top. And everybody loved me. And then when I was coming down the hill, it got a little lighter. You know how I came down the hill so fast? Because people were jumping off the car, jumping out the train, jumping off the ship. And I was like, damn. And I realized, dog, people, it's a thin line between what they really feeling and what they can't feel.
Talk about it.
Now let's talk about Dak Prescott in this situation. Man, bruh, I love you too much for you to be out here waxing poetic about negativity. I hate when people do that. And you know when this really became vivid for me? When I got to college. When I got to college and people were trying to be understated. I mean, I went to Columbia with cats who had millions, billionaires, kids, heiress, etc., and they like trying to be understated. When I was just trying to be stated, you know what I'm saying? When I was going around with people who were like, oh, you know what? I want to be unassuming. I want to be assumed. I wanted to just get to the place where it felt like the love instead of like waxing poetic about the hate. So when I hear someone who's like trying to be over tough, like Dak right now is like, oh, I like the hate. When someone's like, I don't give a damn what y'all think, I'm like, oh, bruh, don't do that. I don't give a damn. Whoever out there, they can get it. Oh, don't do that. Oh, this is going to make me feel better. Negative is going to make you feel better. I give it to them like they gave it to me in math because I was a math genius. I ain't going to lie. I wasn't a genius in much, but damn, I could tear up some math. If you have a positive and you multiply it by 1,000,000 positives, it's all positive.
No.
You add one negative to that equation and multiply it. All of a sudden, it went negative. Dak, don't let this get to you, big dog. And it's okay if you admit it, like Acho just did. I didn't know that Twitter was handling it.
That's hard out here.
Sticking with this game. Don't miss a chance to win $100,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money playing Fox Bet Super 6. Scan the QR code right now and make your picks with us. We're going to help you win Terry's money. Cowboys-Giants is one of the matchups. Acho, who wins? How many points?
Give me the Cowboys by 6. They will get it done.
Oh, no hate, huh? Okay, Cowboys by 9. Extra field goal to that. Fox Bet Super 6 is also giving everyone a chance to win something special this holiday season. You can win a house. Download the app and enter your picks in the Christmas special contest. Then opt in to the house giveaway sweepstakes for your chance to win a house. I mean, a casa. One lucky winner will be announced on Christmas Day. Don't miss out. It's free to play. Coming up, Justin Herbert. Happy Herbert Day. Came close to a win last night, but it was not enough. We'll tell you what we learned about the Chargers quarterback next on Speak for Yourself. Boom. Celebrate Christmas with a boom. Fox Sports proudly presents a documentary tribute to one of football's most beloved figures, the coach, the broadcaster, the video game. All Madden premieres Christmas Day on Fox. Can't wait for that. Let's get back to last night's AFC West battle. Justin Herbert threw 2 touchdown passes and ran for another against the Chiefs. But LA could not capitalize on 3 red zone drives. Chargers took the L in overtime and are now 8-6. Acho, what'd you learn about Justin Herbert?
That there's levels to this, and he ain't on that level. Get on my level.
What? Get on my level. You would never. Ever.
That's what Patrick Mahomes was looking at Justin Herbert like.
Oh, really?
Get on my level. And Herbert's like, what? Get on my level. What?
You know Herbert's taller, right?
Yeah, not in game. Only in physical stature. What I learned was Herbert is great. Patrick Mahomes is greater. Like, let's not knock Justin Herbert at all. But it's levels to this, big dog.
I'm here.
It's levels to this. I'm sure this is happening with you and MJ. Maybe even yesterday, riding to the game. Dad, are we there yet? And you're like, nah, so we're not there yet. Dad, are we there yet? Nah, man, we ain't there yet. Are we there yet? I feel like that was Justin Herbert. Like, guys, am I there yet? And now I got to come up here and be like, nah, Herbert, you ain't there yet. Guys, am I there yet? Nah, someone else, bro. You not there yet. Guys. He's not there yet, big dog.
Okay.
Now, he has.
Not there yet, huh?
He has proven that he is top flight.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes is flying. He is the top of the flight. Like, I love me some Justin Herbert. And I love me some Justin Herbert because I doubted Justin Herbert coming out. And everybody shut up because everybody doubted Justin Herbert. Otherwise, he would have been the number 1 overall pick.
I mean, he was 6. Don't act like he failed.
That's my point. Like, everybody's like, I knew Herbert was going to be great. I knew from the jump Herbert. No, y'all didn't.
Don't be mad.
So everybody calm down. Yeah. But there's levels. There are so many levels, and he met Bowser yesterday, and he lost to Bowser. Mario reference. Herbert's 1-4. versus playoff teams. Well, he was 1-4 last year versus playoff teams, and right now he's 3-5 versus winning teams and 5-1 versus non-winning teams. So it's levels to it. It's levels, and I'm so thankful that Patrick Mahomes reminded everybody, including Herbert, that there are levels to it. Patrick Mahomes, I said this already, 3 75-yard touchdown drives in the fourth quarter and overtime to end the game. He had the ball with 2 minutes, 19 seconds left. That is Patrick Mahomes. He went down the field. He scored. Left Herbert a minute and 16 seconds. Come on, Acho, it's just a minute and 16 seconds. You wanted Herbert to go down and score in a minute and 16?
That part.
Must I remind you, 2 of Patrick Mahomes' 75-yard drives took a minute and 15 or less, which means Patrick Mahomes did twice what Justin Herbert couldn't do once to win the game. It's levels to this, big dog. So what I learned about Herbert, he ain't there yet, man. He's getting there, but he's not there yet, and Patrick Mahomes has arrived.
Oh, man. I got to say this the right way. What I learned about Justin Herbert is that he's on Patrick Mahomes' level. I learned that. You know why? Because let's be real. There's an expectation for him to go out there and duel with Patrick Mahomes.
It's unrealistic. But
Look, and that's the beauty of it. Who in the hell, including you, who was off Justin Herbert coming out the draft, would thought in year 2 that the expectation is to go duel it out with Patrick Mahomes? I love when people always try to split hair to say, oh, he's way better than you. And I always tell them, if you are wasting time comparing me to him, I may not be that far off. And in this situation, he's not only far off, no, he's not. He's actually better than Patrick Mahomes. Let's talk about it.
Wait. Stop down, please.
Let's go.
I can't just let you say some nonsensical nonsense like that and just think you're going to get away with it. Not on a Friday. You think it's Friday. Oh, Acho must be tired.
Look at my face. Look at my face. Nonsensical nonsense.
You're not going to say none of that. You cannot genuinely mean that Justin Herbert is better than Patrick Mahomes. And at what sport?
The game of football, playing the quarterback position. Let's talk about it for real. What's Justin Herbert's record against the Chiefs? 2-2.
Yep.
In his second year. Remember, he wasn't starting last year. His first game ever was against the Chiefs. Took him to overtime and lost. Sure. Now, what's his record against Patrick Mahomes? 1-2 against Patrick Mahomes. And the 2 losses are overtime losses that, for real, he's outperformed them in the 3 collective games. So now, hold on. Be real. I beat you, and I beat you soundly at your place. You come to my place, and the only way you can beat me is, hey, anybody, y'all ain't got nothing else to do, right? Because we got some extra time. I'm the great Patrick Mahomes, and I need a little more time to get rid of this rookie or second-year player. Now, when you get that close in conversation, as I said in argument, let's look at how they performed in all the games. Justin Herbert's outperformed Patrick Mahomes in all 3 of the games combined. Now, Patrick Mahomes looked better last night. Barely. Way better. Way better. How many touchdowns he throw?
3.
How many touchdowns did Justin Herbert have?
2.
No, 3. You forget the running. You forget the audible where I was there, and that was in my seats, my end zone. Let me break this down. This is so amazing. Patrick Mahomes had some great plays. He also threw the ball in the dirt a lot. I don't know what's going on, but his mechanics a little south. Here's the point. He gets a little lazy with it. He knows he's great. Justin Herbert also knows he's great. He gets to the line, checks, audibles. Everyone on the Chiefs calls the audible out. He still wants to force the play because he's Justin Herbert. He's 6'6", 240, can do whatever he wants. Turns out that they jumped the route so much because they knew the play that he had to tuck it and run. All of this happened within 2 seconds. Touchdown Chargers. All I'm telling you is, in simple, if we are comparing Justin Herbert to Patrick Mahomes, that's already a problem, Patrick Mahomes, in his second year. And more so, if you deeply look into that comparison, you'll realize that Justin Herbert has actually played better than Patrick Mahomes in their competition.
Patrick Mahomes threw for 410 yards last night. Justin Herbert threw for 230.
Yeah.
It's not even worth comparing.
Really?
The only reason I'm comparing is because you are a Herbert fanatic. Oh, wait, Sel, but you said that Justin Herbert is better than Patrick Mahomes.
The first game. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in Kansas City. How did Patrick Mahomes look with his 2 interceptions and fewer touchdowns? Anybody out here? 125 rating. Was Patrick Mahomes rating 125 last night? Dog, I'm just telling you, he got him. He got him.
Herbert is better than Mahomes.
He is better than Mahomes.
Herbert is 1-2 versus Mahomes. That don't look better. Last night,
how you get there?
Mahomes had 150 more yards than Herbert. That don't look better.
Oh, who's having a better season? Oh, you want to do this? All right, you go one, I go one. Who's having a better season? I get that.
Hell.
No. I will bring up off mic just to win an argument, damn it, because I remember we got off mic one time. You said, yo, Sel, I didn't know. You want to do that? Who's having a better season?
Who's a better quarterback?
You can't.
Better
I won't answer yours and you don't answer mine. Who's having a better season?
As it stands.
In totality, I ask you another one because you don't want to answer that one because that's going to indict you. I understand. You got family to feed. Who in their head-to-head meetings
a better season,
and who in their head-to-head meetings, aggregate numbers, is having a better head-to-head in this battle? Once again Herbert again. No, the only time Mahomes can beat him is in overtime. He can beat him in regular time.
I draw the line as this. Patrick Mahomes has won more versus Justin Herbert. Patrick Mahomes embarrassed Justin Herbert last night. Why do I say embarrassed? Why do I say
in overtime embarrassed? Don't do TV.
Why do I say embarrassed? Because Patrick Mahomes did twice what Herbert could not do once. Ooh. Herbert, a minute, 16 seconds left. All you need is 3 points. Mahomes just went down and got 8 points in a minute and 45 seconds. All you need is 3 points. You couldn't get me 3 points in a minute and 16 seconds. Meanwhile, in overtime, it only takes Patrick Mahomes a minute and 3 seconds. And the second to last drive of the game in regulation, it only took Patrick Mahomes a minute and 15 seconds. But Herbert, you in a minute 16 seconds couldn't do it. Mahomes did twice what you couldn't do once.
You saying Herbert
to win the football game?
You saying Herbert couldn't go down and kick a field goal? Well, he already knew
to lead his team down.
He knew his coach wasn't going to kick no field goal because his coach didn't kick none of the other 4 field goals. So we left 12 points on the board. You want to keep talking? And we handed the ball off to a running back who shouldn't have got the ball.
Remind you this.
That ain't no Herbert. Who threw an interception on their 2-yard line? Y'all did. Patrick Mahomes, the great.
The talented can beat the extraordinary when the extraordinary forgets the extra. But when the extraordinary don't forget the extra, the talented Justin Herbert cannot beat the extraordinary in Patrick Mahomes.
Stop it, man.
Week 3, the extraordinary left off the extra, and the extraordinary was just ordinary. But when the talented faces the extraordinary, the talented cannot touch the extraordinary unless the extraordinary leaves off the extra. And Patrick Mahomes proved once again to you. He didn't prove it to me. He had nothing to prove to me. But he proved it to you, Marcellus Wiley, that he is extraordinary. So what I learned about Herbert is obviously very good. He's a very good football player, 6'6", underrated, blah, 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 blah. But boy, it's levels to this. And Mahomes is simply saying, get on my level.
You know what? I love you so much, Acho. Hate you. Yo, you got confirmation bias. I understand. This is what I told my daughter one time. She was talking about this guy that her mother really liked. And she didn't really like him, but moms kept talking the dude up. And I was like, baby, you ain't got to take a second look at your love. If you don't love it, it's okay. Move on. Don't get coaxed into it. You know what you're doing right now? You don't want to take a second look into the love for Justin Herbert because you already were off it. I gave you that same advice that I gave my daughter. It's fine. From day one, you didn't see it in Justin Herbert. It's okay, bro. So now we're here and you're like, I still don't want to really look. But Acho, let me give it to you like this. I am a fan. I do not sit in suites. I don't go to the sidelines and passes. I know who does, my dog. Hey, check your box, dog.
I'll be in them suites.
Dog, I know. Dog, because I really want to live the experience. And the experience comes with consequences, too. It does. I get harassed. I get yelled at. I get clowned. People slap my hands, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. Thanks for the COVID. Like, you know what I'm saying? It happens, right? But here's the real. I had an argument with a Chiefs fan up there. I'm in this Chiefs section, right? I'm sitting there, and it's this real cool Chiefs fan, and me and him vibing the whole game. And middle of the fourth quarter, I said, Herbert or Mahomes? And he looked at me, and he went like this. I said, I know. Everyone in the section kind of like, don't you do that. Well, he's an MVP. Right now. Oh, well, he won right now. And they got quiet. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when they won the game, they came back at me like, yeah, we got Patrick Mahomes. But the point being, man, if there's an argument, a tug of war for the crown.
It's too close.
That ain't good for you, Patrick Mahomes. Coming up, the Chiefs just keep on winning after their rocky start. I'm trying to follow this game. I'm sorry, people. We'll tell you what else KC has left to prove. Oh, this is gonna be spicy. Next, oh, speak for yourself. Damn, I love Travis Kelce. That's who he is. The Chiefs took care of business last night against my Chargers in overtime behind Patrick Mahomes' 3-touchdown performance. KC started off the season 2-3. They now won 7 straight and are the only team in the AFC with 10 wins. Damn. Acho, what do the Chiefs have left to prove?
The Chiefs have absolutely nothing left to prove in the regular season.
Okay.
Honestly, as I think about it, the Chiefs are becoming exactly who they said they were going to become. They are becoming a dynasty right before our eyes. You just have to notice it. So 2 years ago, they win the Super Bowl. Last year, they go to the Super Bowl. This year, once again, they are atop the AFC, have won 7 consecutive games. That is very dynastic. Now, we need to see another Super Bowl win really to confirm that dynasty, like we gave the Cowboys a dynasty in the early 90s, like we proclaimed the Patriots having several dynasties when they won 3 Super Bowls, when they won 2 Super Bowls, etc. We need to see them fulfill the rest of that dynasty. But Chiefs have nothing left to prove in the regular season. Patrick Mahomes proved again he's a cream of the crop. Travis Kelce proved again he's a cream of the crop. Tyreek Hill proved again he's a cream of the crop. Ain't nothing left. Like, there's nothing left to really doubt in regards to these Chiefs. When the Chiefs started their win streak, we said, well, they just beat the Giants. Doesn't count. Okay, they beat the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers wasn't there. That doesn't really count. But then we noticed they whooped the Raiders. Wait a second. Okay, it's just the Raiders. Doesn't really count. But then they beat the Cowboys. Then they beat the Broncos. And then they beat the Raiders again. Now they beat a bona fide Chargers team.
Bona fide.
I'm looking around and I'm like, wait a second, bro. The Chiefs are exactly not who we thought they were. They are exactly who they said they were going to be. A dynasty in the making. So over the last 22 seasons, we only see about 3 7-game win streaks a season. Why do I bring that up? It's hard to win 7 in a row.
Okay.
People get hurt every year. Quarterbacks miss time every year. Coaches miss time, all types of stuff. It's hard to win 7 in a row. So we can't think that this Chiefs 7-game win streak is some sort of coincidence. We can't scoff at this 7-game win streak. No, the 7-game win streak exists because of how good the Chiefs are. They ain't got none left to prove to nobody in a regular season.
Oh, man. They have something left to prove. To quote my Compton brethren out there, if we go deep into this, I'm going to kill your vibe. And I can't say the first word, but I'm kill your vibe because there are some things that give me cause for pause for the Chiefs. Let's talk about it. If they're bona fide, that gap has certainly shrunk between them and the rest because they had to do this, eat off their cuticles last night to get a win over the Chargers. Okay? So if they're bona fide, there are other teams that are right there with them. And last time I checked, it wasn't supposed to be the Chargers. So either the Chiefs are coming back to the Pack or the Pack is catching up to the Chiefs. Okay. I don't want to go this deep, but I'm going to kill your vibe. Let's talk about it. When I look at this team, I start to realize that Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes just yet, even though he looked good last night. Patrick Mahomes is still sitting out there, and the mechanics are lazy. Let's be real. Some of those passes, clear touchdown could have thrown, but the mechanics are lazy. I'm not mad at that. But when I see a quarterback have career worst, 5th-year career, completion percentage, interception, yards per attempt, passer rating, giveaways, and sacks, I'm saying that's where y'all confidence at? That's the half a Billy dude. Career worst. Now, it's a hell of a career. Well, let's put it in perspective. Is this hell of a? When your completion percentage is 21st this year, you know where that puts you? Under Davis Mills. Where your passer rating is 16th. You want to know where that puts you? Mid-pack. When I look at you and your yards per attempt, and Baker Mayfield got better than you, this is the Patrick Mahomes we talking about, the great. So what's leading the charge? The defense. What do you mean? The defense that gave up 28 to the Chargers, and really, if there are 2 scoreboards, as I always talk about, there's another one with 9 up to 21 points sitting there like, we'll see y'all again. All I'm saying is, what do they have left to prove? Consistency, bro. You can't beat the Raiders like you beat the Raiders, scrape by everybody else, have the Chargers give you a game, and then say that everything is Gucci. All I'm saying is, the same way you're looking at them, they're a dynasty, as you say. Dynastic. Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl win. Who knows how this goes? You can look at it like this, big dog. Like they coming down the hill. We won. We showed up, but we didn't score a touchdown. What happens this year? They got a lot left to prove, I think, to themselves.
So they're at the top of the AFC this year, number 1 team in the AFC. Number 1 team in the AFC last year. And the year before they won the Super Bowl was the number 2 team in the AFC. Like, they own the AFC.
That's
period. Like, literally, everybody gets paid to play this game. and the Chiefs play this game better than everybody. That's what it comes down to. Chargers are a top 3 team in the AFC. If Chargers win last night, they have 9 wins. They would be one of 4 teams with 9 wins in the AFC. Titans, Chiefs, would have been the Chargers, would have been the Patriots. So Chargers are a top flight team in the AFC that the Chiefs beat. You make a phenomenal point, however. I do think the pack has caught up to the Chiefs. I think 2 years ago, last year, AFC, Chiefs were head and shoulders better than everybody else. Now they're just ahead of everybody else. So the pack has caught up to the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are still ahead of the pack. So sure, y'all can catch up if you want to, but are you beating me? You can catch up, but to have 10 wins this season, to win 7 games in a row, I don't know what more you want in regards to consistency. Only one other team has won 7 games in a row thus far, if I'm not mistaken. That's your Patriots. Maybe your Cardinals gave it to you, but I think the Cardinals were 7-1, so I think they got an L prior. So the Patriots have done that. The Chiefs have done that. They can't prove anything else. So 7 in a row. You played 10 years, and you said y'all never won 7 in a row.
I don't think we won 7. I'm listening now. We won 7.
I played 4, and we won 7 in a row one time because Nick Foles caught that Foles magic. So with that being said, Chiefs can't prove nothing. Chiefs can't prove anything else right now. In the playoffs,
boom,
I'll rock with you.
Well, now we're talking and having the same conversation. I have absurd expectations for this team because, 1, I saw them in their ascension, and 2, they told me that they were going to stay there. So once you tell me, then you lock it in terms of my expectations. Are we going to win a dynasty? Remember the quotes? Why we got to stop like Jordan did? Why not 6, 7, 8? Like, remember those quotes? And now it looks like Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl win. Who knows what happens right now? And I look at it, and it's supposed to be Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes having his worst year ever. It's supposed to be Patrick Mahomes. You know that this year, he had 3 games with no touchdown passes. And in 4 years prior, he only had 3 games. 4 years. He's done that in 1 year. Come on, big dog. Why do you believe more in this team or the same in this team when its leader is lesser than he's ever been as a quarterback?
I'll tell you why. Because I would rather spread out my accomplishments. I think you and I had this conversation off mic. Let's rap about it on mic.
Let's do it.
I don't want to win everything in 1 year. Right? I don't want to win, call it 10 Emmys in 1 year and then never win another Emmy. I want to win 1 or 2 here and then win another one next year and win another couple the next year just because let me spread out my greatness. It's great that Patrick Mahomes won the MVP 3 years ago and then won the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP. And now, as we look at it in present day, 7-game win streak. Like, he's spreading out his greatness because what is him winning the NFL MVP this year if his team ain't winning 7 games consecutively? What's winning the NFL MVP this year if you don't have a 1 seed? The year he won the NFL MVP, he didn't win a Super Bowl. But the year he won a Super Bowl, he didn't win the NFL MVP, but he did win the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes, we're seeing spread out his greatness. The reason I'm not worried, 3 players have over 4,000 yards and over 30 touchdowns. Your boy Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. So if Patrick Mahomes has fallen off, yet still has won 7 games straight, has over 4,000 yards, and has over 30 touchdowns, bruh, I have no need to be dejected. Patrick Mahomes is still there.
Yeah, but only one quarterback, and he's a rookie, has more giveaways, more interceptions. I'm just trying to project, are they really coming down the hill? I swear they are. You won the Super Bowl. Oh, this is how it went. This is exactly them. AFC Championship, damn you, Tom Brady. Go to Super Bowl, win it. Go to Super Bowl, we ain't scored a touchdown. This year, sputtering, 2-3, and now the 7-game win streak, we'll see how it ends.
Go there then. Remember, are they relativity? That's what I love now that you and I have brought that conversation into the show. I don't think they're coming down the hill. Other teams are coming up. Phillip Rivers, an ancient Phillip Rivers, was never going to be able to compete with a young Patrick Mahomes. But this new Justin Herbert is. Joe Flacco, an aging Joe Flacco wasn't going to be able to compete with Patrick Mahomes. But a Lamar Jackson is, a washed-up Andy Dalton, and since he wasn't going to be able to compete with Patrick Mahomes. But a young and thriving Joe Burrow is. Tyrod Taylor or Nathan Peterman wasn't going to be able to compete with Patrick Mahomes. But Josh Allen might be able to. But I think it's not so much that Mahomes and the Chiefs are coming down the hill, but you've just entered in 4 young Pro Bowl talent quarterbacks. They're going to be able to run too. It's not like Usain Bolt. And Patrick Mahomes is Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt? Yeah, at the end. What's Usain Bolt doing right now? Coming up, Lamar Jackson might not be able to go in Sunday's big game against the Packers. Speaking of running, We'll tell you how worried the Ravens should be next on Speak for Yourself. February, please hurry up and come. Lamar Jackson is not practicing today, according to reports, and Tyler Huntley is potentially in line to start. This is the third straight day Lamar has missed practice due to his ankle injury. His Ravens face the Packers Sunday on Fox, and Green Bay is a 6.5-point favorite on the road, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. Sacho, how worried should the Ravens be about Lamar Jackson?
Incredibly worried. Not just worried about Lamar Jackson, Ravens. You need to be worried about yourselves. Lamar Jackson, total yards, has more total yards than about 14 teams combined, collectively. Yeah. But Lamar Jackson, if he's hampered as a runner, now you just got to look at Lamar as a passer, period. Don't look at him as a runner. Look at his passing yardage alone. And when I look in 2021 at Lamar Jackson as a passer, it don't look good.
Oh, really?
Jimmy G, greater than Lamar. Oh. Carson Wentz, greater than Lamar. Teddy Bridgewater, greater than Lamar. Taylor Heineke, greater than Lamar. So when I look at Lamar Jackson as a passer and passer alone, that ain't good numbers. So with that being said, I'm worried because you just took away Lamar Jackson's biggest threat. You took away that threat of his ability to run the ball. Now he's just a passer. And I ain't worried about you as a passer, big dog. Like, I'm worried about you as a passer in light of your ability to run.
The threat, right.
But I'm not worried about you as a passer if you can't run. So first and foremost, that's the biggest reason I'm worried about Lamar Jackson. We got more, though, later.
Yeah, it's close to panic, but it's not fully there. There is reason for concern because he's not healthy. Like, ask every player in the NFL, if you're not healthy, is there a reason for concern? Absolutely. You should be worried. But I think in this situation, it could be a blessing in disguise because Lamar Jackson in this situation needs to keep it simple. As they used to say, give me a kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. And I'm not calling Lamar Jackson stupid. I'm saying that this passing attack sometimes is stupid. It is not simple enough in terms of respecting Lamar Jackson's talents. Now, I got to give some respect to Lamar Jackson that I think hopefully will bleed over to you in osmosis and respect. You like Russell Wilson as a quarterback? Me too.
Of course.
Yeah. I wonder who has more passing yards a game this year, Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson? Well, that's fine. You don't have to answer that because I think I already led you there. Google that. Let's talk about this. I wonder if Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown in every single game this year. Matter of fact, he has. Every game he started and finished, he has thrown a touchdown. Has Tom Brady done that? No. Oh, God. Has Aaron Rodgers done that? No. God. Has Patrick Mahomes, the crown wearer, the great, done that this year? No. Josh Allen, anybody? No. Dak Prescott? See what happens, Acho, as you know, I was compromised, hurt, injured my contract year, my fourth year in the NFL. I had a back surgery. Oh, L5S1, as they say, right? Went in there, fused it up, got it right. And being compromised, I realized I had to keep it simple. I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do, but you know what I honed in on? My fundamentals. The simple things. I think that's going to help this passing attack, and it's going to help Lamar Jackson. I am worried because, look, he's a dual threat. Now we just took a little off the fastball in one of his attributes. That said, you can hone your other senses and enhance your other sense of throwing the football, which to me on paper actually looks good enough already.
So one of the greatest lies I've ever been told in my life. One of the greatest lies.
What I just said?
I've ever been told in my life. You were told it too, and you, the viewer, you have also been told this lie. One of the greatest lies ever told.
What?
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Oh, yeah. One of the greatest lies ever. Because you can eat an apple all you want, but mess around and go eat a couple double-doubles, animal fries, chocolate shake.
Yo, boy.
Too often. You gonna see that doctor. So Lamar Jackson can throw a passing touchdown a game. A touchdown a game keeps Lamar's big name. He can do all that all he wants. But as long as he keep having double turnovers, as long as the ball keep shaking loose out his hand and fumbling, we can't enter Lamar Jackson in a great conversation this year as a pocket passer. That is why I'm worried. Other reason you have to be worried. The reason Lamar Jackson has started to struggle, I broke it down on tape 2 weeks ago, is because teams started to blitz, big dog.
Yeah, that's real.
That Bengals game, really that Chargers game before the Bengals game, but Lamar still balled. That Bengals game where I think they lost like 40-20, 41-17, something like that. Bengals started to blitz them. Look at his first 5 games of the season. 8 touchdowns, 3 picks, 100 passer rating, only being blitzed 47% of the time. Okay. Then some teams wised up and said, hey, bring pressure on money downs. Then all of a sudden, 56% of the time he gets blitzed, 8 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and that's the last 6 weeks of the season. The difference was we said, heat him up. Let's crank up the heat. Let's be real. Might be unfair to say, but I'm going to be honest. In defensive meetings, if you're playing a quarterback and you know he got a leg injury, I'm telling you right now where we're hitting him.
In the leg.
It's not high.
That part.
We're hitting him in the leg.
That part.
Lamar Jackson could not finish the game, got carted off the field. His adrenaline couldn't even take him through. I've played a game with a torn MCL just off adrenaline. I had to miss the next week because I was in too much pain, but I finished that game exclusively off adrenaline. If adrenaline can't carry you through a game and you can't practice the next week, bro, you just not good to go. You might try to go, but it don't mean you good to go. I am worried about Big Dog.
Man, look, I said I was worried. I'm not going to panic up here, but I am worried because he's in regression right now. You look at his numbers and 13 interceptions this year. He only had 15 for the previous 2 years. 38 sacks. They sacking him. He's hurt. All of that said, and then when they heated him up, when they started to pressure him, they tested his processor. They'll say, I don't know how many gigahertz you got right now, but you better use them because we're going to make these decisions happen faster. And with a fast player, it's kind of like Russell Westbrook. When Russell Westbrook only has one gear. I'm gone, right? And the thing is, if you can't get in front of them, you say, well, then go. Because then they don't have the brakes, all gas. And I think what happened is they put the fast players out there. They went from nickel to dime packages, and they said, speed this game up for him. He want to go fast? Let him go fast. But he better make these decisions as fast as those feet are moving. And then all of a sudden, he got kind of caught out of sorts. All that said, why should we be worried about a team? Because Lamar Jackson is their team. Their team was compromised coming into this season. Lamar Jackson is regressing. Lamar Jackson is hurt. You know what Lamar Jackson will have to do? Keep it simple. And I think that's what's going to help this team right now. Simplify things, because when things are speeding up, you can't be thinking of 2 or 3 different things. And I think that's what happened. They sped it up. You still running the same playbook. He's hurt. Guess what? Abbreviated. Hopefully that will met him. The Ravens host the Packers in the big matchup Sunday on Fox right here. Baltimore has a 1-game lead in the AFC North, but they might not have an injured Lamar Jackson. Packers have won 3 out of 4 on top in the NFC. Acho, who needs to win more, Ravens or Packers?
Packers. If we're being honest, at this junction in time, the Packers, they are more likely to go further in the playoffs. Okay. But I only think the Packers go all the way to the Super Bowl if they have home field advantage. Packers at this point with Matt LaFleur, I believe 20-2 is their record at home under Matt LaFleur during the regular season. So they're going to be all right. Packers can withstand a whole bunch of things. Aaron Rodgers, he's been able to withstand the injuries, the people leaving on his team. Devontae Adams, he's 7-0 without Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers can withstand a lot. But I don't know if the Packers can go on the road and get all the way to the Super Bowl. So Packers need this win more, because Packers solidify home field advantage. Bucks are on your heels. Bucks have, I think, the easiest remaining schedule sell is they got the Falcons, Panthers, Falcons. Like, Bucks chilling right now. Bucks going to win out. Packers, you need to make sure y'all win out, y'all get home field, because the only team that proved they could beat you last year at your home was the Bucks. But I think the Packers are a tougher team now, primarily because of running back A.J. Dillon. I think they're a little bit grittier. I think they have a little bit more toughness and nastiness to them. But it only matters if they're at home.
Man, you went deep into that. Damn, I don't even want to go into that part of the pool. I remember the day when I found out what the numbers on the side of the pool were. This is how ghetto I was growing up. I was like, what's that number for? 8. 8 feet, fool. Don't dump. I jumped in there one time. It's like, where the bottom at? That's where you just went with this. You went too deep. The answer to this is simple. Which team has the worst record? Baltimore Ravens. They need to win more. They need to win more because guess what? Packers got more wins. Let's go deeper than that. If there are 2 people, which one needs to eat? The hungry one or the hungrier one? The hungrier one, right? Who needs to work out more? Me or you? Whoever's in the worst shape, you, right? This is making my point. It's real simple. Here's the thing. I think it's the Ravens. Why? Because, let's be real, it's wobbling. Whatever you want to say, if the Packers take a loss, what would that be? The second loss for Aaron Rodgers in terms of him really being there, focused, capable. Oh, Aaron Rodgers lost again. Baltimore loses with or without Lamar Jackson. You are 1.5 games in between a race between 3 other teams in your division. You blink, you can lose your division. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens, man, they find themselves in this weird position. They still have a lot of numbers and qualifiers for this team to still make a run in the playoffs. So they're still a viable team. But at the same time, when your starting quarterback is compromised and he's going through a regression in terms of performance this year, you're already undermanned because of injury this year. And then you're getting into the latter stages of a division we thought you were going to win. And now you look around, no team is 2 games behind you, all within 1.5. Baltimore needs this win.
The only thing I'm looking at with Baltimore is, the Browns. Baker, he out right now? Oh, backup? Case Keenum out right now? Oh, they had to postpone the game, so they probably going to be in a little bit of a funk? I'm not as concerned with the Browns winning out because the Browns would have to win out more than likely based on the Ravens' remaining schedule and the Browns' remaining schedule. Oh, the Browns and the Bengals, they play each other, so somebody got to catch an L there? Somebody's going to fight one another? If I'm Baltimore, I would have been nervous prior to this week and the COVID drama and all that. I think the Ravens at this point are safe of making the playoffs. Now my bigger concern is I don't want to risk what I want most for what I want now. If Lamar Jackson plays a game too soon, you've played with ankle injuries, you could reset. Now that ankle gets worse. Now all of a sudden, and as opposed to just losing against the Packers team, which you were likely going to lose to anyway, now you might mess around and lose your last 2 games of the season, which you are likely going to win. So I just think, I would never say concede defeat, obviously not. But if I'm looking at Lamar Jackson, then I know he's probably not healthy, and I know I was going to be hard-pressed to win this game regardless. I don't think the Ravens need this one. They need the other 2 more. Packers are trying to get the 1 seed. Ravens trying to make the playoffs.
See, it's Friday, right? So I got to give it a Friday show. I got to do a little bit of conversation right here. Okay, so I told you I jumped into 8 feet. I didn't know what the 8 meant until I realized there ain't no bottom. That's what 8 feet means. I went to a Holiday Inn at a track meet, Eugene, Oregon. We were running there when I was like 8 years old. Saw some kids. These kids were doing flips and everything. I was like, this is amazing. What these kids? I couldn't swim. But I did know how to jump into a pool and do a flip. I couldn't flip on land. I could flip in water. So then I didn't know that you read the numbers on the side at the Holiday Inn. I didn't even see any numbers. It was under the water. Holiday Inn, cheap. Anyway, so the point is, I jump in. Bah! That was my first concussion ever. Hit the bottom of the pool. It had a 3. I didn't know. Didn't run into the track meet, anything. Made major news. Nobody saw. Nobody cared. Here's another story. Be careful, Lamar Jackson. Those ankle injuries, they haunt you. I can't walk into my kid's room now because my ankles crack everywhere I go. So when I try to sneak up on them and wake them up, Daddy! Because they hear the Lamar Jackson ankles coming. Coming up, Cam Newton seems okay. I told you it was Friday. We're splitting time at quarterback. Tell you if he's keeping 100 or just 99. Next on Speak for Yourself. And no lie, dog, my afro came off. It had a... On this show, we only know how to keep it 100. Thou wow, as the kids say. But others only keep it 99. Cap, as the kids say. So each day, we're going to get to the bottom of who's really telling the truth. Who are these kids anyway? Case in point, Cam Newton is winless so far as the Panthers starter. And Matt Rule said he'll split time with P.J. Walker in college. Take a listen to Cam's reaction.
I do what I'm told. I know that sounds kind of, it's true. I'm a player. And I gain guidance in, what the coach's, plan is. I trust in the coach's plan.
Oh, what happened? Oh, is he keeping 100 or 99? Come on.
He's 0. He's trying to keep his job. That's what he's keeping it. He's trying to keep it employed. Whether it is 100, whether it is 99, Cam Newton is trying to keep it employed. I've never seen so much humility oozed from Cam. I just do what the coaches say.
Yeah.
I just trust the coach's game. But it's the same Cam that said, I'm a starter in this league, period.
Yeah.
I just do what the coaches say.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep it employed.
Well, they say don't believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So I wouldn't even listen to him. That's how I dress, Cam. Don't look like that. You got the undershirt half on, half off. Cam! I don't give a damn. Keep your job. Do what you got to do. You got to eat. Dress better. Go back to Cam. That's it. Have a great weekend. Fox Bet Live is next. What happened to you?